New glasses. Who this? What is up, everybody? As you can tell, I got some new spectacles, and I like them a lot. They're really cool. I like the matte finish. It really is kind of the look I'm going for these days, but I don't think they're perfect. Let me explain. You can see on the sides, I got these little red accents here, and I'm not the biggest fan of them. They're just a little bit too much. And I think if they were to be knocked down a little bit, I would enjoy the glasses a whole lot more. Then I got to thinking, hey Toasty, you paint small things a lot. Why not paint these? So I figured I'd give it a try. Let's head over to the bench and see what happens. Alright, so I was pretty nervous going into this project from the get-go because I only get one pair of glasses. And glasses frames are expensive. And if I mess up, I still gotta wear them on my face where everyone can see it all the time forever. So to say that there was a lot riding on this is a little bit of an understatement, and I wanted to be as thorough and careful as possible. So the first step was to clean off the surface of the glasses, or at least the part that I was going to attempt painting over, with a little bit of paper towel and water to just make sure that any sort of, hairs or fuzzies or surface imperfections were cleared of the area before painting it. But that just ended up leaving a lot of paper towel fiber right in that area. Then I decided to get a microfiber cloth and try the same thing, because hey, it's microfiber, it's great, it picks up all the little things off of my glasses usually. And then it just got even worse somehow, and I have no idea why or how or what even happened with that, but that is what happened. So I ended up just using my finger and rubbing away as much as possible to get as much of a smooth working surface as I could. I thought that would be okay, not perfect for sure, because your fingers have oil on them, but I've handled plastic models before, painting them before, and nothing has really become ill of that, so I wasn't super worried about that. Anyway, I begin very, very gingerly using a new brush with a new tip, putting just the smallest amount of paint on at a time as I could. Being extremely, this is probably the most carefully I've ever painted, and I paint 28mm guys for a hobby. And it went on pretty well. There was nothing really blocking me from continuing, and that was because I had already tested it on a non-visible portion of the glasses near my ear. And part of that had rubbed off, which signaled to me that I needed to use some sort of varnish to keep it sealed.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
And then also to make it look a little bit more intentional. So I decided to use a brush-on primer as well as a gloss varnish to give it a little bit of pop and a little bit more of an accent to it, rather than just going matte on matte and having it kind of look like the same thing as the rest of the glasses, because it still is an accent piece. So I brush on the primer, and that is going pretty well, trying to make sure I get all of the recessed areas and nothing around the edge of it, because again, this is expensive business here. I don't want to mess it up. So we get through most of it, and then I turn it to the other side and start working on that side, which goes very smoothly as well. In between, I noticed that while the first side dried, there were a couple of spots in weird angles and things like that where the red was poking through a little bit, so I made sure to go back through and cover those back up. And likewise with the reverse side as well. I thought it looked pretty good with just one coat of primer, and part of the reason I decided to use primer was for its good coverage. So I went ahead and eschewed a second coat and just went straight for the gloss varnish. And this is really the part that made me the most nervous because I did not test putting varnish on this, but I figured if it could take acrylic paint, it can probably take an acrylic medium varnish. I ended up using Vallejo's airbrush gloss varnish. And I did this because it's already at an airbrush consistency, which means I don't really need to thin it out before applying it. Even though I don't have an airbrush, I'm just using a normal brush. The pre-thinning of the varnish is really nice, so I know I'm going to get a nice even coat without having to do anything special to it. So I painted the varnish and it's looking pretty good. Do the other side while waiting for it to dry, and I try to give it a little bit of extra time to dry because I'm not exactly sure how long varnish takes to dry. So I just, do my due diligence. Eventually, I go back around and it looks a little bit spotty and maybe not as shiny as I want it to. So I decided to apply another coat of varnish. And that one as well goes smoothly. At this point, I'm pretty comfortable painting the shape and area of this surface and a little bit more confident with my strokes, but still being mindful of being careful, because when you get too confident, that's when mistakes happen. I finish it up and give it plenty of time to dry. And here are my glasses. No red to be found, except for the inside, which I kind of like. A little bit of an accent there. But I think they turned out pretty well. Hopefully the camera can see that, because I can't see me showing off my glasses. Overall, this wasn't too complicated of a project. It was a very simple modification, in fact. But I felt like I had a lot riding on it, and I thought it would be interesting to share how I could use my miniature painting skill and expertise to apply that in a real life situation and get some more benefits out of that in a way that I didn't really think about before I started painting miniatures. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more projects, mostly in the miniature realm for sure, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single one. And if you liked this little project, feel free to throw a like on the video. It helps out the channel a ton. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!